There's only one thing that God did without us, and that was to create us. He didn't ask our permission to create us. He just wanted you and me in this world. And so out of his wisdom and love, he created you without you. But after he created you, he wanted it to be completely shared. He wanted it to be you and he together in everything. And that includes your work. That includes your mission. That includes our ordinary daily life. In modern life, there can be a time, a place where we think that we don't know what we're about anymore. Like, where did we come from? Where are we going? Is there any meaning at all to this? Or what's it all for? And Joseph and Mary, they show us a path forward about what life is about. Before I get into that a little bit, I just want to share with you one of the most profound reflections on this. There probably is in the English language, and it's from Cardinal John Henry Newman, St. John Newman. And maybe you've heard this, and if you have, it's worth hearing again. Just want to read you some of his reflection. He said, God is almighty and might have done all things himself, but it has been his will to bring about his purposes by the beings he has created, you and me. We are all created to his glory. We are created to do his will. I am created to do something or to be something for which no one else is created. Have you ever thought about how important you are? I have a place in God's counsels, in God's world, which no one else has. Whether I be rich or poor, despised or esteemed by man, God knows me and calls me by my name. Joseph, son of David, don't be afraid. And then this you've probably heard. God has created me to do him some definite service. He has committed some work to me which he has not committed to another. I have my mission. I may never know it in this life, but I shall be told it in the next. Somehow I am necessary for his purposes, as necessary in my place as an archangel is in his. If indeed I fail, God can raise another as he could make the stones children of Abraham. Yet I have a part in this great work. I am a link in a chain, a bond of connection between persons. He has not created me for naught. Have you ever wondered, why am I created? Why do I exist? What's the purpose and meaning of my life? All of us have these questions. Sometimes in modern life, it's so interesting, we don't have them anymore. Father Peter and I are going to talk about this on Christmas, this idea of a buffered self, where I actually insulate my life with so many creature comforts or so much social media or so much busyness that I actually no longer let the greatest questions in human life penetrate my heart. I just don't have time or room for them anymore. I mean, what does it matter anyway? And so I just live my life from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next. And sometimes when I do that, I can find myself very empty. I'm just blown about in my life. What anchors you and me in life? What anchors you and me in all of the changing circumstances in which we find ourselves? Unless it's something far deeper, far more significant than just whatever is new and trending. Cardinal Newman goes on, I will trust him. Wherever I am, I can never be thrown away. If I am in sickness, my sickness may serve him. In perplexity, my perplexity may serve him. If I am in sorrow, my sorrow may serve him. My sickness or perplexity or sorrow may be necessary causes of some great end, which is quite beyond us. He does nothing in vain. He may prolong my life, he may shorten it. He knows what he is about. He may take away my friends, he may throw me among strangers. He may make me feel desolate, make my spirit sink, hide the future from me. Still, he knows what he is about. See, each of you have a mission from God. Each of you have a place in his plan. You're a link in a chain. You're that important to God. And you may or may not know it in this life, and that's okay. But God wants to work with you and use you and work through you to accomplish his purposes, which is nothing less than salvation. And Joseph experiences this very much firsthand. The angel comes to him and tells him something that does not make sense. I mean, just imagine, all of you who are married right now, imagine if your wife came to you one day and said to you, honey, two things, okay? Hear me out on both, okay? Two things, okay? First, I'm pregnant, okay? Second, it's not from you. It's actually from God. Interesting. I mean, like, wouldn't you say that, husband? You'd say, interesting. Okay, so say that again. Two things. I'm pregnant. And you're like, okay, say more. It's not from you. And then you could feel like your blood start to like get warm as a man. Okay, so why is it not from me? Don't worry, it's from God. Joseph must have been like, how does that make that easier? That makes no sense to me, Mary. That's not easier to me. How did God do this? We just had a conversation. Well, what did you say? I just said, make it happen. Let's do this. I'll be your instrument, God. See, Joseph was told something hard and mysterious. Sometimes that happens in your and my life. Something happens in our lives, and it's hard to accept, and it's mysterious. And we don't quite know what to do with it. And Joseph is like, I'm out of here. Isn't the Bible so comforting? Joseph says, I'm out of here. I'm leaving. This doesn't make sense to me, and it's too hard to accept. Have you ever felt that way in your life? You just want to check out. You're just like, I'm done. Lord, this is too hard, and I can't understand it. I'm done. What's so encouraging is that God does not shame Joseph for that, nor does he give up on Joseph. He says, Joseph, I know it's really hard, and I know it doesn't make sense to you, but I still want you to hang in there. I want to work through you. I have a mission for you, and the mission is relationship. I don't want you to step out of relationship with Mary or Jesus. Don't go rogue. Don't go on your own. Don't be by yourself trying to figure out your life, Joseph. It's not going to work. Stay close to Mary and stay close to Jesus, even if it's hard, even if it doesn't make sense. Sometimes in our lives, when something really hard happens, we're like, well, now I just have to buckle down. Now I have to just like take matters into my own hands and like stay up super late studying or learning or watching the news or scrolling on social media. Or sometimes we go the opposite way and we just want to check out. And that's when we can just drown ourselves in social media, drown ourselves in other things too, to just numb the pain. And then we isolate. And if you're there right now, there's no shame there. If you're there right now, or you've done that in the past, God is seeking you out and he says, hey, what if you just stepped back into relationship? What if you stepped back into the mystery and I'll be with you in the mystery? Life isn't like a problem to be solved. It's not like, okay, if I just think about it enough, if I just do the right thing always, then I'll have the perfect life that has no suffering, nothing that's hard, nothing that's mysterious. It's not life. What I need more than an answer is a presence. What I need more than an answer is a relationship. And God says, Father Ben, don't step out of relationship when it's hard. Don't step out of relationship when you're suffering. Don't step out of relationship when it's a mystery. So today, as we're journeying closer to Christmas, 1 week from now, has life become hard? Has life become a mystery? And how have you responded in that? Have you stepped out and said, I'm divorcing myself from this situation. I'm divorcing myself from this mystery, from this pain. What if God came to you and said, hey, don't set aside Jesus and Mary. Don't do that. They'll help you understand. They'll journey with you step by step. And so in this last week leading up to Christmas, stay in relationship, or if you've left, come back. Come back. God will always welcome you back. He has a mission for you. You're a link in a chain. But links are connected in relationship.